Why? Why is it happening
I
so
don't.
fast?
Oh man, what's up?
Because
How's it?
God wills it. That's why.
Oh my god, you got listen, guys. Listen, if you guys are not signed up for our Patreon right now for the second tier, the $5 tier, after today's episode is dropped,
I don't even know where to start with that. That was.
all I'm gonna say is it was fucking fun. It was hilarious, and
By far our most ridiculous yet.
yes,
Yep.
yes, and we're proud of that fact. We are
In the best possible way.
But I do want to say this before we dive into these films. Happy holidays to everybody out there. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and all that great, great stuff.
9 days out from Christmas.
Yes,
So fuck the holidays. Bah humbug.
Santa, Santa Claus is coming to town. All that good shit. Behave. Better watch out. Better not pee on people. You know how the song goes.
It's true.
Come on. It's the fun part.
Have you guys done your shopping?
Yeah.
You can call it that.
I got everybody their lumper coal.
No, we actually we're not doing Christmas shopping, even though my wife got us a gift. She got us a Quest 2.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Into it more, which they're pretty dope, Like, we're already talking about getting a second one when we can, of course. But just because there's so much that you could do together with it, like not just like for one thing, we could do workouts, like the workouts alone. But with just some of the games, like I think we're gonna get a boxing game at first, but then some of like the VR horror stuff looks so dope, and just a lot of the stuff look dope and look fun. I'm like, why the fuck not? And then like movies and shit. So I'm like, okay, this may be another avenue once I get into it, once I learn it some more. This may be a whole new avenue for watch parties for me because this would be so much easier.
I'll warn you about one thing because the Quest is the whole headset you put on and everything, right?
Yeah.
Watching movies with that sounds cool as long as you don't want to eat or drink during them.
That's fair because it's a pain in the ass to try to.
Because if you're snacking on something and you're chewing, your head's shaking. It's going to shake the headset. And if you go to drink something, you can't see where the fuck your mouth is.
Have a straw. Be careful. You gotta just
practice. Then you're like this, trying to find a straw.
That's fair. Where there's a will, there's a way, Christopher.
That's it.
But going back to the Patreon, just for a moment, so people know why they need to sign up and watch our latest episode. Pornhub released its state-by-state list of the most searched topics.
George G3, what's up? How's it going? Appreciate
it. What up, George?
Yo. We spent our entire Patreon episode talking about the most searched porn topics by state.
Chris, can you turn your mic up some?
Me?
Yeah. Or is it? Make sure it's on your right mic.
It is, man.
Restream messes it up sometimes.
Yep.
All right. We'll you sound a little. Say something again.
Nothing. At
the moment. You sound better.
Oh, okay.
That's better.
What the fuck? It was so. Yeah, it switched it on me somehow.
Yeah, every time you switch from room to room.
Which is odd because I thought it was supposed to be your default, but.
What? Yes, go watch our Patreon episode where we talk about Pornhub's list they released for most searched porn-related topics by state.
Yep.
Because we had an awesome time. We had an awesome time.
A lot of fun.
With Mick from the Scene Snobs.
Yes. Oh my God. Shout out to Mick from the Scene Snobs. Make sure you guys go check out the motherfucking Scene Snobs. You're going to be very entertained.
It was a family-friendly holiday episode.
Not for no. Motherfucker. He's lying. He's none of our episodes, nothing that we do together when it comes to content, it's more than likely is family friendly.
Especially if it's on Patreon.
Exactly. But I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. You're gonna get more. If you guys think we're funny here, which I know some of you do, at least one or two of you do, I'll say that. Those same one or two of you are gonna find it's even funnier over there because we really let loose over there. Like we really do bite our tongues here, and we're trying to do that even a little bit more. Still gonna swear and shit, but we're
building it up. We got 4 or 5 episodes up on the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that weekly. We're gonna have some rewatch stuff we release on there.
Yeah, actually, should we tell them? No, not yet, not yet. Let's build up on it first. Let's do some practice before we tell them what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we
It's
have
gonna
some.
be
We have
worth it though. We
Yes, it
promise to bring the heat, baby.
yes, 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 yes. So I guess we can.
Are we continuing our holiday movie binge here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Got
we
my
have 1
cup
week
of
left after this
imaginary
one.
cocoa.
There you go. We have Claus and the Claus family tonight.
Klaus.
Klaus, yes, you're right. Whatever. Either way, that's the movies we're discussing, and judging from our group chat, I think we should do the family one first.
I'm fine with that.
And with that said, rating, my friend.
This was a little rough. I'm gonna go 4.
Feliz Navidad.
I felt the same. It was a little rough around the edges, but not 4. I'm actually gonna give this one a 6.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
it was okay for me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it was okay. It was cute. It was fun. It had some funny moments, but I gave it a 3. I give it a 3.
I don't know. I didn't feel into it, at least until the heartwarming ending and stuff. And then, that kind of opened it up a little bit for me. So I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on when I started this movie. So I think it's a Dutch movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I think it was dubbed in English,
yeah,
right? It's
Yeah.
on Netflix. Takes place in technically Belgium, the Netherlands
Yep.
area. Like they left Belgium, and
They left
we
the
gotta
Netherlands.
start looking up the fucking actual synopsis for these movies.
Yeah, if I remember from the dialogue, it said the grandmother asked her, "Why does she have to come to Belgium and not just stay in the Netherlands?" So they were originally from the Netherlands. They moved to Belgium.
All right.
The father of the family was in an accident, it appears, and he's no longer with them. So the mom's trying to start over with their children now.
Yep. So after discovering his grandfather is Santa Claus, Jules, the grandson, has to help him deliver his presents all around the world, but Jules's hatred for Christmas might make that more difficult than Santa thought. That's the official synopsis of the movie. And the reason he hates Christmas is because his father was in an accident and died on Christmas Eve.
which is very fucking understandable.
That's fair. I'll give him that, but this kid was a dick, man.
Yeah, it's just a brat, whiny brat.
He was, and like I understand. I mean, I don't know the feeling of losing a parent, but I understand as far as like losing somebody and being upset about it, and not even understanding your emotions as a child. But he was taking shit way too far because he was just being rude and mean and nasty to people for no fucking reason. Like I understand being upset, but the way he was acting, I'm just like, yo, acting like that, my mother would have knocked me across the goddamn house the very first fucking time I did that shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I understand you're upset, but don't be disrespectful now. Who the fuck are you talking to like that?
I was one of the things I at least appreciated about this movie, probably more so than anything else, is it's a story I haven't seen before when it comes to Christmas movies.
That's very fair, actually. Same here. Same here.
So
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
when it comes to Christmas movies, this is at least a story I haven't seen before.
Yeah, it was actually a decent story. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the kid's grandfather, who he finds out is Santa Claus, even though that's in the change synopsis, all kinds of spoiler alerts, of course. He is what I thought was interesting was the way he's traveling. He's not using a sleigh. There's no sleigh in this whatsoever. Is the snow globe.
Mm-hmm.
He can basically teleport. He teleports everywhere.
Honestly, very fucking cool concept. I will give it that. I liked that concept because it was different. Went outside the box. Even with the whole family thing, I didn't mind that concept either. and just kind of just did something different. You know what I mean? Just did something different, and I respect it for that. I just didn't think the story was told as good as it could have been. I don't know
Well,
if it's the acting or
I
what.
liked uh, see a little bit because it's a foreign film, and the English dubbing takes away from probably the
Very,
actual
very
acting because the English language doesn't match up with what their
no,
mouths look like they're saying or anything like that. But what I liked about the snow globe, actually, I've always thought if I could only ever have one superpower, I would 100% pick teleportation, just so
Mm.
I can go anywhere, anytime, instantly. That's the superpower I'd pick.
nice.
But the fact that they tied that into the snow, I thought it was a unique take on how Santa gets around so quickly, and it's believable for the scenario.
Yeah. Well, it's working. Hang on, my cousin just wants to test.
Yeah, I like that. I thought when they
One,
were going through and he was kind of giving him the tour.
hang on 1 second, Chris. I'm just popping my cousin in for a second. He's
Yeah.
just testing this because he's going to be on the midnight stream later.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no
Yo,
doubt.
yo,
there we
What
go.
up? All right, it's work. One moment, kiddo. It's working. We're good.
All right, good, yo. See you at I'll send you the link at like 11:30, 11:40.
Yeah. Just hit me up when you're ready.
I got you.
All right, man.
I can't wait. Peace, yo.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Peace. Oh, I got you. Peace.
That's awesome.
All I'm gonna say about that is, and I'll tell the story. You're gonna get more of this story if you are up at midnight over on Horror Research 30. But
I won't be.
he's one of, I've told you guys many times. I had older cousins, older brother, and he was one of the older cousins that got me into horror when I was 5 years old. With the whole whoever's house we're staying the night at, it was don't cry, don't whine, don't wake up mom or aunt so and so because you know what's gonna happen. He was there, so yes, you're gonna get more of that at midnight on Horror Research 30. Well, we review It's a Wonderful Knife.
It's a
But enough
wonderful
about
knife.
that. Let's talk about this movie right here.
Also, actually, one of the other things I appreciated about the movie is they got to the point real quick. The
They
point
did.
of the fucking movie. Like, they didn't dilly-dally around with the story for a fucking half hour before getting into what this movie's supposed to be about.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think that's part of what made it a little bit of its downfall, because since they gave you that so fast, but then when it got to the meat and potatoes and then the kid being involved in the process now of like the passing of the torch type deal, and he was being that bratty back and forth. Oh, I'll help you one time and then I'll help you now. I want to go home. I'll help you and then I want to go home. That just made it feel long and stretched in that part there. So I think they should have gave more of the build and then just a little bit less of that, and that would have balanced out the feel of
I
the
could
flow
see
of
that.
the whole movie.
So you mean? Sorry, what you mean by that is not necessarily taking out all that back and forth, but cutting it back or making it mean more. Like when he does it the first time, it lasts longer in the movie, maybe.
Yeah, just thin it out because they did it. It became too repetitive by the third, fourth time
True.
that the fucking
That's
kid
true.
did it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we get it. You know what I mean? Give us the second time and then fucking like move on.
And
you know what I mean? At
That
best
I think
case.
that's what got on my nerves about the kid. And when I say smack the kid around, yes, I say it seriously, but I also say it jokingly. However, you have to discipline the kid, discipline the kid. But the
Yeah.
kid was never fucking disciplined at all for anything. And like, yeah, I understand. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what it's like to lose a parent, and I feel sorry for anybody that knows the
Yeah.
feeling. But
And that's
I
a
know
lot,
what it is. I know what a loss is like. But at the same time, though, that doesn't mean you could be going around being disrespectful to people. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he can't be upset, he can't vent and all that stuff. But I'm like, all right, now this has been going on.
He
I
was,
understand. Huh?
as soon as he found out his grandfather was Santa Claus, he was like unfazed, like no sign of emotion whatsoever. He's like, I hate Christmas, and just went about his business. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like a big reveal that you would need to grapple with,
And that's the thing. A couple of the things they tried, I think what happened was like, so that was supposed to then lead to, that scene with him, with his grandfather seeing the kid wishing and leaving the picture, wishing for his dad to be home. And since that's something that he wished for and never got, made him mad at the Santa Claus, and then he had that realization Santa Claus can't do that, so that's why he never did it. And that was supposed to be more impactful. And then later on, they tried again with when he finds out his dad was a Santa Claus. Spoiler, sorry.
Spoiler show.
His destiny is to be the next one, but then he's mad again. But those moments of clarity and those moments of him like getting past those were supposed to be, I think, bigger moments than they were, but they didn't. And like the thing that led to that caused it initially overshadowed it for some reason in how they wrote it and kind of gave it to us.
I did like the idea of, because if I've seen anything like it, I certainly can't remember it. The idea of passing the Santa Claus mantle down from one generation to the next in a particular family. It's not just he became Santa Claus one time and then he was it forever.
Or Santa Claus fell off his roof, and now since he fell off your roof, you have to become Santa Claus to do the rest of the job.
Oh man, dude, just not to get too off topic here, but it's still kind of on topic because Tim Allen, he does the Santa Claus show for Disney Channel now. This has got to be like his only acting gig now, because I don't know anything else he even tries to do anymore. But I don't blame him. I'm sure it's easy money. People love that character. So there was an actress on the new season of it who has a podcast. I can't remember her name. I know I've seen her in other stuff, but she's not name recognizable.
Yeah.
So I was reading an article. She was talking about her time filming the new Disney Santa Claus series with Tim Allen and talking about what a bitch he was.
Oh shit.
Like some of the quotes, and I believe it because he seems like he'd be a douche in real life. He's like, so there was one instance she was talking to, literally standing like 5 feet from him, like the distance you would stand in front of someone to have a normal conversation with. He apparently had, even though they were standing that close, one of the PAs or the director or something specifically tell this actress that she was stepping on his lines and not to do that. Well, he's just standing there looking at her instead of actually talking to her himself.
What the fuck?
And then she was talking about, I guess, as soon as they were done with filming, like the last scene, and they called cut, he's like, he just picked up like the Santa robe he had to drop, and he's like, done, just picked and walked that right out without saying anything to anybody. Yeah,
I'm sure he acts like a bitch.
Tim Allen's a bitch.
Tim Allen's a bitch. Allegedly. Don't sue us.
He's a rich bitch with a nice ass car collection.
I can't argue with that, I guess. Nope. But yes. But as that I was reading that article, I'm like, none of this really surprises me.
Yeah.
He needs
to, have him snort some coke again. Then I'm sure he'll be back to a party animal.
That's it.
Wow.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes, man. He was a drug mule, so he was.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
He was arrested for, I think, back in the 70s. Was he arrested for it? He was arrested for transporting coke.
Did he snitch?
Wow.
He definitely snitched.
So he had a problem.
Career. Wow.
But back to this movie. For a kid that hated Christmas, he certainly loved being in Santa's workshop, especially when he got the candy.
Still a kid.
I don't know. It's like the premise is this kid hating Christmas. That's fine. I feel like they didn't connect him to that purpose emotionally at all in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should have.
He would just randomly say it every once in the scene, and then have a quick scene of him exploding. But he's watching him in the workshop. It didn't look like he was fighting this hatred or anything. He liked being there. And then they would just have him throw in this line. Yeah, I hate Christmas. It's just a reminder that his character is supposed to hate Christmas.
Grandpa, I'll help you this one time. Hey, Grandpa, don't forget, like I said, just one time.
I told you this will be my last time.
Every single time.
And then the fucking... I can't think of something... even with that, I still the cheesiest part of this movie is his mom working at a cookie factory.
They had
I'm like,
nothing else
what?
for her to do. She was a single mom in a town that fucking it breaks cookies. A lot
The
of cookies.
cookie revolution.
Yeah, the cookie revolution. It happened. It's in
Like,
history.
and
Books.
that fucking bitch of a boss, man.
Yo, that shit would I would have got fired the first day.
Yeah.
You have to ask to go use the bathroom? Yeah, right. You have to ask to do the fuck that shit. I'm gonna do what the fuck I nah,
You know what
I'm gonna
that
do
made
my
me think of? That made me think of like middle school or elementary school where like you
crazy
got to
man.
actually raise your hand and ask in front of tell in front of the class, I need to go to the bathroom.
That reminds me of a story. So this was back in high school. Um and I was late. It was like study hall. I was late to it, right? So I go in there, sit down, get my stuff out because I was going to do something, maybe homework for the night or something. I was actually going to do work, whatever, fuck it. I don't remember what. So I go in there, sit down, and I got there like literally right after the bell rang. I'm walking in the door, sit down. So I'm like, hey, can I go run to the restroom because I had to take a piss? And the dude was like, were you late to my class? I was like, yeah, but I'm here now. Can I go use the bathroom? And he kept saying that back about 4 or 5 times. So I just, in my mind, I was like, fuck this. I got up, walked out. I went to the bathroom, came back, and my shit was in the hall. Oh, you know, fuck this. Lunchtime. I grabbed my bag, went right to fucking lunch. Oh, like, fuck this. Lunchtime. I'm thinking, I got an extra lunch today. Shit. But here's the funny thing, right? So the next day, I'm walking down the hall and I'm passing the office. My principal just happens to be standing right by his office, right in the hall. Aaron, can I talk to you? Yeah. All right. Go in the office. So what happened yesterday? I was like, what do you mean? So, the whole situation I just told you guys. He was like, you can't just get up and walk out when you want to. I was like, listen. I asked him if I had to use the bathroom. He kept saying the same stuff over and over. And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you right now. If I have to use the bathroom, I'm going to get up and go. I was like, I don't care who tells me if I can't go. And I got in his face. I was like, I don't care if you tell me I can't go. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom. I was like, no, go ahead and go call my mother or my father and tell them the stupid ass reason why I'm in here. Like, get out. Exactly. Exactly. I literally went to the bathroom and came right back. What the fuck can you be mad about? But yeah,
Oh man.
story goes on. Or movie goes on, review goes on.
It does. And like this movie tried to I don't know if it was the acting, it was a
It was the
weird
act. It was the acting. Because I feel like I think I would have liked this movie more if the acting was a lot better. And I feel they went too much on the kid, the little boy, and he couldn't carry it. He couldn't
No,
carry it.
I don't think so. And the darkest line of this movie is I don't remember at what point in the movie he says it where the kid is talking to his grandfather and he's like, "Dad is dead and so is Santa." I'm like, "Fuck, that was
Mhm.
dark."
Yeah. That was when they were in the hall when he goes to level 2.
Is that when
Yeah.
it happened?
Yeah, which honestly, I thought level 2 was gonna be where the sleigh and the reindeer were, not this fucking.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it would be. My first thought was it would be something like something family related. I didn't realize.
I
I didn't
mean,
think of
technically
like
it
a
was. It was
hall.
family related,
Yeah,
but like how it was. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was interesting
which
though. It was different.
like
Which again, that's what I did like about it. But I think the big thing I don't like about it is that the acting was bad. So the story it was trying to tell didn't really tell it as well as it could have if the acting was a hell of a lot better. Which sucked.
and it does like the whole cookie factory with her mom and or his mom, the kid's mom and stuff like that. I think probably could have put a little more thought into that. A little some maybe something a little more realistic when
Yeah,
it came to her
maybe
having a
she's
job.
opening a bake.
Shit.
Why can't she just be opening a bakery in this new town?
Yeah. So
She's
that
taking or
that
she's
was
taking over this bakery that was in that town. It was an abandoned bakery, whatever. They couldn't get it. So she goes in there, she starts making her cookies, and
dude,
then
no joke. When she first brings the kids to the grandfather's shop there at the beginning, and he
Mhm.
talks, and she's saying goodbye, and he's like, "You're the best cookie maker I know," or something like that. I'm like, "Oh, that she must be there because she's opening a bakery or something like that." I'm like,
and that was perfect.
that would have okay, that would have been more believable than seeing someone going to work in a cookie factory that just
Yeah,
makes this one specific cookie. Because sure,
yeah,
there's factories out there that make an assortment of cookies, I'm sure, but there's this is the most unrealistic one of the most unrealistic setups I've ever seen.
yeah. Hell yeah,
But
hell yeah.
And then when they brought in the babysitter that's 15 years old,
Yeah, that was funny.
the mom keeps calling. She's like, "How old's the babysitter?" She's like, 15, 22.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that scene was funny.
it was.
And I liked the character, but I'm like, Jules is banging that babysitter at some point in the future.
Wow.
100%.
We're going to that. Which, if you want to go to really talking about banging, go check out our Patreon. The episode will be dropped on Monday. You're gonna get some shit. You're gonna hear some shit. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's all jokes. It's all comedy. But it's gonna cost you $5 to go check it out. Watch
It is. It is gonna.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. It costs. It's just
It's like I like the character was fine. I feel like they made her go from minor side character to like important piece, like super quick.
Like instant part of the family. Like
Yeah. Like she's having these heart to hearts with Jules when he goes running up to his bed. Like after she was literally just had 30 seconds of screen time total in the movie.
Yeah.
Up until this point.
Yeah.
So and and he opens up to her like right away. Like this is a little weird. And then trying to connect with him at the end. And he's talking about you want to know what it's like to lose your parent, and she pulls off her fake leg. I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming.
I definitely didn't see that coming.
yeah.
I'm like, okay. Out my penis. I know.
I got nothing.
Nope.
Fuck that. I got nothing.
And they just needed one big cookie order to save the factory, and they did it from the female president of the United States.
Mm-hmm. Buying all them damn cookies.
Madam President. I don't know. It was... I think they had the concept there for a good holiday movie. I think it could have been a little more fleshed out.
I mean, I honestly feel like a big part of it, though, is the acting.
Yeah, I mean...
the acting's part of it, but the whole cookie factory, I don't know, the whole cookie factory thing just that probably took me out of it most, honestly. I'm like, this is such a fake job and setup. Like I couldn't focus.
Because it's like, every day she went to work, had to leave, had to work, went to leave, like every fucking day for like a week, and you just moved to this town, like,
like it would have been so much more believable.
And before you leave the house, hit him with the dart in the neck, be done with it.
Like if she wanted to be a baker and was trying to open her own shop, that would have been so much more believable than going to this fake ass looking cookie factory.
And then come on, you didn't know your husband's fucking Santa?
That's another thing. Like the mom clearly had no idea that this ran in her husband's family.
And then what about the grandma? Same deal?
I don't. Well, clearly the grandmother. Well, that was her mom.
Oh, okay.
The grandmother in this is her mom.
So then where's Mrs. Claus? And how come if that was Santa, he took the helm, how is she not Mrs. Claus?
That's true. Once his father started becoming Santa, Mrs. Claus doesn't play a role in this if she has no fucking idea. His wife, well, they were married before he died.
Mm-hmm.
It seems so.
So he had a second wife in the North Pole, Mrs. Claus. Who was his Mrs. Claus? He got kids out here with this bitch? Like
I don't think. Look, there's no indication. That's the thing. That's a weird part. There's no indication there was ever a Mrs. Claus in the North Pole or anything like this in this movie.
But the way
but
he
in the hall, there was Mr. and Mrs. Clauses.
The way he just said that sounded like he was the chick that's getting cheated on. He's with this bitch. I tried to point that out. Oh shit!
I don't. It's weird. I feel like they had the concept there that they could have fleshed out better before they actually made this movie.
Could, should have, would have,
Definitely.
would have.
But I'm sticking with my 4. I mean, it was a little heartwarming once you finally got to the end, but
It was cute. I'm gonna stick on my 3 though. It was cute.
Yeah.
You know.
Like that, but I guess back and forth with the grandfather keeps getting hurt. He keeps going back. It's like, this old man's literally gonna die unless you just stay, guy. You know what I mean? Even though the grandfather was lying
Basically.
the second time, but still. It's like, dude, your job right now is to take care of your grandfather, stay with your grandfather, and help him with the shit, and just be done with the shit, and then go back to hating Christmas later. At least let Grandpa survive. Like,
oh yeah,
Barely.
we didn't talk about his little elves. They were humorous when they had their parts. The one guy
okay,
that's
so the
constantly
elves thing just
updating the
made me
list.
think of something way left field, real quick. Okay, nobody ever thinks about this. Where the fuck does Santa get all the coal from for the bad kids? He must have elves that are dying in these mines, right? Nobody talks about the lives that are lost in the minds of the elves.
You had a point. He has a point.
Can't argue with that. I have no logic for that.
But before we dive into the next movie, we're gonna show you guys what we're doing next weekend. Because
There's so much fucking going on. I don't even know what we're doing.
we're not spinning the wheel because we already know what we're doing for next weekend. And then
I just said I didn't, but yeah.
Woo! Vacation, jingle all the way.
Oh, jingle all the way.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Is I watched Jingle All the Way last night before going watching this. This ain't on the list. Good thing I did.
Dude, I saw someone mention it today and something. I'm like, I'm surprised we're not watching that.
We are. And
Apparently we are.
What's even cooler is Friday. I know we haven't been promoting it like we should have. I don't know what the fuck's going on with us. We're exhausted. Who knows? Anyways, this Friday, Scene Snobs.
This Friday.
Casters for a Cause. Yes. Friday coming, the 22nd. Christmas Vacation script read. Casters for a Cause again, all for lunch. Trying to raise $300 if you can afford it. Please donate to it. Just right to the charity. You already know just how we did it. Just for the Christmas, just for the last one, the Halloween one. The kids got to eat. They need their lunch. They shouldn't have to pay for it. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's fucked up. But yeah. So, Merry Christmas, people. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Celebrate. I'll say that. Be fair to everybody.
Oh yeah, my hair's almost done growing back.
Look, that's fucking ridiculous.
Is that when you shaved it? When did you shave it?
Friday
Yeah.
the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Oh,
for
Halloween, right? Yeah.
Yep.
No, well, not before Halloween.
Friday the 13th.
October.
For the Friday the 13th script read, actually. But so yeah, we're doing those two next week, and we can hop on over to Klaus now.
Klaus.
Which, all right, ratings, Christopher.
There's clearly a reason this is nominated for awards. Give this one a 8.5.
Listen, this was the first time watch for both of these movies for me. I started this one. I'm like, oh, good, an animated Christmas movie, and then I teared up by the end, and I'm like, fuck, this might be one of the best animated Christmas movies I've watched. So I'm going with an 8.
Ooh, my turn. This was good as fuck. Like, this shit surprised the shit out of me. I was like, how is this gonna be? It's animated. It's gonna be too cutesy wootsy, but no, this had some dark moments which I really enjoyed, and then had some lighter tones in it, which you get the little shock in your throat. But this was a good movie. I'm giving this shit a 9. I'm giving this shit a 9. This is one of the better, not just animated, but this is one of the better Christmas movies.
I'm
not horror Christmas movies.
You're right. You know what? You're right. I would agree. I'm going to give this a 9.
Okay, that's fair.
When I was done, I'm like, my eyes watered up. I'm like, this is I would recommend this by far as a Christmas movie for people to watch. That
Not only, sorry to cut you off, but not only that, I would even staple it into fucking um I would even staple it into, it's worth a watch like once a year. It's worth a yearly watch.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I would say it's worth it's this is one of those movies that I feel like it's worth a yearly watch. Along with the Home Alones, in my opinion, but that's for another story. But this is worth one that I feel like you could watch once a year and be good and be like it's a good one. And I would say on top of that, maybe try to get someone else to watch it because it's a good movie. It's a good
It is.
movie.
I think this is only like 2 years old, right? I had not heard of it. I didn't know this ever came out.
Me either.
Yeah, I think
Um,
2021.
This is exactly why I was like, guys, listen. If you want, I'll just give my wife the Christmas wheel, and she'll take care of it from here on out. Cause she loves it anyway. She loves finding the movies for us for certain ones, and just I'm like, okay, well, Christmas.
One of the things I really enjoyed about this was the fucking voice cast because I love all these people. So Jason
Mhm.
Schwartzman is the main character voice, the postman, the spoiled
Yep.
kid
Mhm.
who's hold on, let me pull up the premise so we can read the premise first.
Yeah, this movie was just like holy shit, and the animation fit the style of the story.
Dude, the animation was awesome.
That's good.
yes,
I like that.
it fit the story.
2019. It was 2019.
So a few
Okay.
years ago, right before.
So
That-
after
yeah,
proving himself to be the worst student at the academy, a postman is sent to a frozen town in the north, where he discovers a reclusive toy maker named Klaus.
Klaus.
So the spoiled kid, his father basically started the postal service or is in charge of the postal service. They have like a boot camp for postal workers in the making. He is so used to being spoiled, but they show him at this boot camp. He doesn't do anything. He still goes about his being spoiled business. His father is sick of it, how he's been not taking it seriously, and sends him to this fucking way out of nowhere random island
Yeah.
with the goal of telling him to start your own post office, mail 6,000 letters, get 6,000 letters, get a function in post office, and then you can come back to the sweet life you have with your silk sheets and all your butlers and stuff like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So that's the premise. Spoiled kid being super spoiled, being shipped to an island in the middle of nowhere. Harsh situation for him,
Yep.
and him having to do something so he can get back to his rich life.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets there, and the desolate place is literally a land of division and feud with two families
That was
occupy the place.
I fucking loved that. That was hysterical, man.
It
It's like the Hatfield and McCoy stories.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was the first thing I thought of. So he goes to this island, and it's literally the island of feuds. These two families, and you get the backstory, which is hysterical as they're walking the kids like through these historic halls there and explaining how it all happened. Two families that have basically hated each other since the dawn of time and have done nothing but feud and fight with each other.
Yep.
But Jason Schwartzman is this postman. Norm MacDonald is not a
Norm
name I
MacDonald.
expected to see. I forgot what year he died. This movie came out in 2019.
He's Norm
Did he
MacDonald.
die in 2020? 2021? But Norm MacDonald
He
is
died, honestly, till you just said it. I was like,
Yep.
wait.
He drives the ferry. The only way to get to this
2021.
island. 2021? Okay. He
Mhm.
so he's the ferry driver who takes the postman and the mail back and forth to this island. And J.K. Simmons, who I don't know anybody that doesn't like J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
As
Mr. Norm MacDonald right there for you guys, in case you don't know.
that's a young Norm MacDonald.
Yeah.
Yes, rest in peace to him. And thank you.
Very distinct voice.
Yeah. And J.K. Simmons as the voice of Klaus.
Another one. Very distinct. Love him. JJ fucking from Spider-Man.
Oh man.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yep, he was great. And another thing I appreciated about this movie, other than the story, it's another story. It's a Christmas story in a way I haven't seen it before. This is basically the creation of a Santa Claus,
Yes.
of how it got started.
Yes.
And it was fantastic.
Is it how it's coming back?
No, this is how it got started.
I
That's how
thought
I
it was
saw
this is how he's coming back. I feel like the world changed, and because they're feud and shit, he just went off into the mountain, and then now he's like coming back into it.
No,
That's interesting. I didn't think of it as a starting.
this is like an origin story for Santa Claus for me, because
Like the Nordic one, right? Nordic origin story?
yeah. So once so the postman is of course scared of Klaus because he's just a woodsman up in the woods by himself.
The big motherfucker, though.
Yeah, and he's just going up there to see if he has mail because the postman needs. If he can mail 6,000 letters, his dad will let him come back to his rich life. And the town has basically shut him out. Everybody hates each other. Nobody mails anything, so he's not getting letters. So he sees this on the map, this cabin, goes to talk to the woodsman, as they refer to him, and he has all these toys that he's built and stuff like that. But then you don't know why. I could see right there. You think he's Santa Claus. He hands out these toys because, like, they show the character. He's walking around with an axe like he's fucking like it's fucking what's the horror or what was the
Christmas Bloody Christmas? Love it.
No, the one with David Harbour that just came out.
Oh,
Violent Night.
That was
made me think of that for a second.
That was beautiful too.
But he's a woodsman. It's like a rugged Santa Claus with an axe chopping down trees. But they gave him such a fucking backstory for an animated movie. Like, it's crazy how deep his backstory goes in this. So he goes up there, and then eventually the postman at least befriends the Klaus, but enough for him to tell his story because they showed him chopping wood a lot. They showed a scene where he makes the birdhouses. You still have no story. There's in between there, you have a scene where he actually goes with the postman to deliver the present to a kid who's draws the picture.
Yeah.
And the postman's trying to get a penny from him so he can mail it for postage. It's in his bag. It falls out when the postman goes to see Klaus. And now Klaus wants to bring a present to this kid. So they do that in the middle of the night, which was a fun scene because of the Dobermans and the dogs.
Yes.
But when they become friendly enough and they have Klaus tell his story, like he moved there, he built that house because the woman he loved, his wife, liked the area, and they planned to have all these kids. So he just started building toys in preparation for having so many kids and just a huge family. And then the music changes, and he's like, and then we kept waiting and it wasn't happening, and then it just never happened, and then she got sick. I'm like, this is taking a dark fucking turn.
Real dark.
And
okay.
So he wasn't Santa or anything like that. He was building these toys for his kids that he thought he was going to have with this woman he loved, his wife.
And that's why he had all that land, and that's why he had that huge house. That's why he built that huge, because he thought he was gonna have a huge family.
Yeah, he built the house because they went, they visited there, they went hiking or something, and his wife fell in love with the area, so he built the house for them to live in right there.
So the wind anomaly, the magic or whatever, I guess is his wife, and that's what's leading him. He's taking. Got you. So
he is seeing all the wind swirls and stuff as signs from his wife.
Got you.
Like, because that brains the child's drawing right in front of him after the postman goes running away. The postman is convincing him to try to bring toys to the kids because he's got all these letters now, and the wind is swirling behind him. He's seeing these signs. And then he talks about how his wife loved birds, and that's why he didn't know what to do after she died. So he just built birdhouses.
Yeah.
I'm like, this got fucking deep fast.
Yeah. Like, damn, kids watch this shit. I don't think they should. I don't think they should. It's a little rough. Shit.
Oh man.
But it was a good one.
It was really good. It was really good. But no, I say that though. I'm not saying they shouldn't watch it, but it's one of those movies that you definitely want people that understand what's going on in the movie to watch it more so. I'm not saying kids shouldn't, but it's deeper than a kids movie.
It is.
Which I guess most Disney and shit, Disney type. I don't know what this umbrella this falls under, but I'm just saying just Disney type in general.
No, this is definitely deeper than your run of the mill.
Yeah, it is deeper, but there is some that have like those deep kind of,
And then the fact that the postman is doing everything he can to try to get out of this town, generate that mail, but the positive impact it's having on the town and the two feuding families becoming more friendly and just slowly seeing the change. Like he meets the teacher who's selling fish to try to make money to get off the island.
And before, hang on. Before you guys think, by fish, he means the actual fish, not vagina. I had to make that clear.
Thanks for specifying. I didn't think I needed to.
I'm not saying she's dirty down there, but you don't know. But I'm just saying, just in case.
I've never referred to a prostitute as a woman trying to sell fish.
I'm sure some people have.
Wow.
Okay.
And maybe people out there trying to buy fish. You never know. But double entendre tonight, people.
No. She was trying to sell legitimate, actual fish.
Yeah.
Because the kids wouldn't go to the school because nobody had interest in learning and the families hated each other.
Yeah.
But then, the postman, the kids didn't know how to write letters to Santa, which is what was getting a kid a toy. He wrote a letter to Santa, so Klaus brought a toy. So all the other kids wanted toys, but they didn't know how to write. So the postman tells them to go to the school to learn. It's so, I don't know. This is just so well developed and written out.
And because one thing that this does is it gives you just of the quote unquote main characters, it gives you just enough of each character to where you kind of care about them, and to where because you kind of know a little bit about their background, just enough to care about their story and all that, and then you kind of understand why they are the way they are, whether good or bad, because of what they went through in their lives. So you kind of get that get that brief view of it, and then you see how much each character grew and changed by which one we'll get to it, but by the end of this movie, and it's like, holy shit, that's so fucking awesome. That's so fucking awesome. Like how they just grew and just boop was just like different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fucking creepy kids that were always around the snowman with the carrots.
Oh,
They cracked me up.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah.
The little girl stabbing it real slow as he's driving by. I loved it.
That shit cracked me up. And then when the two families were talking about all the big events when it came to fighting the other family, one of them referred to the Great Mooning of '86, where the families were stuck their ass out of windows at each other.
That was fucking funny as fuck. I was high when I was watching this. I was dying. I'm just like, I'm like, oh, this is just some two petty ass families beefing over some petty, stupid ass shit that they probably forgot what they're beefing over.
Well,
They literally said they don't even know. It just goes back to the beginning of time, and we know it's petty, but it's history, so we still do it.
Yeah. Just like, so when the postman first gets there and he's like, what, no reception? And then Norm Macdonald, as the ferry driver, he's like, oh, just ring that bell over there. Everyone will come out. There'll be a big champagne and stuff like that. So he rings the bell. And literally the families come charging at each other.
It's just a fight.
It's just a giant fight.
He barely makes it out alive, meets the supposed teacher, and learns it's called the battle bell.
Yeah, I was gonna say battle bell.
Like, what kind of town would have a bell for battle?
No, but like they introduced the concept of the naughty list because the postman first gets there and one of the kids throws a snowball at him and calls him a loser. And then he's upset when that kid is upset when he doesn't get a present. So they show the postman just thinking off the top of his head is because you were on the Santa sees that Klaus where Santa sees everything. You are naughty.
Yep.
So it was like it's a great story of the creation of the Santa character.
Well, to get more into that was all the other kids that wrote letters got presents, and this kid got a lump of coal in his stocking. And
Yes.
so that whole mythos of it comes between the naughty list, Santa seeing everything, and then if you're naughty, you get a lump of coal in your stocking, which I thought was just a cool thing. It was such a cool way, and honestly, I would love to see more Nordic Christmas movies, more Nordic Santa movies, and I would love to see more Nordic horror Santa movies. So if there's any out there, please point me in that direction.
Of course.
But seriously, just because of the mythos of it, the background of it, and everything of it, I would love to see that tradition. Just whatever you want to call it, I want to see more of that.
Oh, the little like Eskimo girl that he couldn't understand. That was
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
He's like, I can't understand what you're saying, or you can't write a letter. So he just opens the door slowly and pushes her to the side at first.
Mhm.
And then she becomes the catalyst there to bring in i- elves, helpers for
so to speak.
Klaus.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So I like that was that was well written connection. When what's left of the two families are trying to decide at the battle bell how to get rid of the postman and get things back to their feuding ways, and they keep talking about book clubs, cookouts, and brunches.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh,
that was pretty. So we have to have peace to get
yep.
back to fighting.
Oh my gosh. It was funny because anything would set them off to fucking fight. Anything. They just wanted to fight so bad. Like even when they were supposed to be teaming up to go up against Klaus and the mailman, the postman,
Mm-hmm.
they were still fighting each other.
Yep.
Oh my god, it was so fucking funny. This shit was good. This shit is something you guys need to check out. Seriously, go check it out if you haven't. It's over. Both these movies are on Netflix. I highly recommend this movie.
And then just getting towards the end of the movie here, the big scene, the big chase scene where the two heads of the families are trying to stop the postman and Klaus from delivering presents,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both goon children. Uh, the one guy saves the girl from the other family from falling off the cliff after it dives.
Yeah.
It cracks, and then one act of genuine kindness sparks another, or whatever the phrase was.
Sparks another one.
It
Or
sparks
something like
another
that.
one.
Or sparks more.
Yeah. And then she's like, mine. She's carrying him at the end
Mm-hmm.
there. But where was I going? I forgot. Yeah. And that brings the families together.
Pretty much, yeah, because they
Just
see it
finally.
like when the family, because there's a part where the families are fighting a little bit after that, and they see those two together, and they say mine a couple of times and kind of run off, and yeah,
But dude, what started to get my eyes watery is the fucking end of this movie. They go through, so the kids get married, the families get united.
Nah, he's out of it, but we're here. What's good? Appreciate you popping by.
So the families are united by marriage,
What up, Alice?
Mhm.
and then they cut to kind of a montage of the next few years with the postman helping Klaus out and things like that. Klaus is getting older. They show him chopping wood, and then the wind swirls, and he just knows it's time.
Yeah,
And he's like, I hear you, darling. I'm coming. And then just walks in to nothingness and disappears.
basically.
Dude, I started to get teary there. And then they go even more into the future. The postman's now married, the teacher who gave up her savings to improve the school and stay on the island. They
Mhm.
have kids. And he's the closing scene of this movie where he's just sitting at the fireplace with like cookies and milk, and he's like, every year I still get to see my friend, and then you just hear like the bells jingle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, that was so fucking good.
So, all right, I'm gonna make it dark really quick. I know this was a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful film, So does this mean that, by the way that this story is told, Ghost Santa delivers presents once a year?
I
Mm.
I thought
Or, is
about
it,
that.
or okay.
I
I'll
think
darken
he's
my.
just become greater than his purpose.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm.
This isn't. I mean, this isn't like the other movie where the mantle of Santa Claus is passed down.
That's true. Yeah, that's fine.
This
That's what I was
is
saying.
this is the creation of a character, and this guy is now Santa for the
So it's
till
like
the
the
end of
good
time.
spirit of Santa that kind of delivers the gifts,
Yeah,
and that's how he flies with the deer and all that. That's fair, and that makes more. That actually makes
because
a lot of
the
sense.
way, like the way they introduce, I didn't even think about that. The way they kind of introduced the sleigh in this movie. Like it started out with just the one horse, and then there grew to be too many presents for one horse. So he tried to had to try and wrangle the reindeer,
Wrangle the reindeer.
and Santa was just feeding them to get him over. Well, the postman kept trying to wrestle the one,
Yep.
and like, what happens? Does the sleigh break when the two families are trying to stop them, and the wheels come off? So it's sliding, and they all go. All goes flying over the cliff, and the one kid just happens to wake up and catch a glimpse
Hmm.
before it crashes. I like this really good.
Yeah, it was. It was. It told the story so well, and it did a really good job. It really did. Again, watch this fucking movie, guys. Watch this movie. I'm actually changing my score again to a 10. This shit was like the more we talk about it and the more I think about it, this movie was really fucking good. This is definitely one of the better Christmas movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And it just because it tells it tells such a great story. It's animated, which is cool, so you don't have to. And the voice acting worked very well. So I guess you could say the acting was good, and the voice acting worked. Like everything worked. So
yeah,
yeah, this is.
you had mentioned the animation, the way they framed a bunch of things and they shot a bunch of things with the camera movements. It just reminded me of like old school, like 80s, 90s, like holiday movie or holiday animated movie. Like it just
Mm,
felt really good at the beginning
hmm.
of this. So that really just set me up to stay high. And it delivered on the story. It had the emotion. It had the payoff at the end. It has the message and the morals. It's cool, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. This was a good one. This was a fun one. This was a good watch. This is a really good watch. I'm definitely glad I seen this one. And shit, it's almost like I wish it was like the last Christmas movies we were watching for the week. But I know we got some fun ones next weekend as well. So, you know, to
Yeah,
end up.
this is one I will probably try to watch each Christmas season now.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
so too. And I know the wife would love that because I think she watches this once a year anyway. So this is something I would add to my Christmas movie watch because I don't have a non-horror Christmas movie watch list, and then for the horror shit, I'll just watch something random that's Christmas related. But as far as non-horror, besides like Home Alone 1 and 2, besides like a handful I watch, and if I even watch them every year, I don't have like a stay, you know. But this is definitely one of those ones. This is definitely one of those ones.
Good times.
Yeah, hell yeah. But shit, listen, people, I think we're about to wrap. We're about to wrap this one up. We're about to wrap this one up. Chris and Crystal, like they're ready to go pee pee and go to bed.
And that is exactly what I'm going to
Oh,
do.
shit. I'm ready to
So,
play.
with that said, we're gonna giddy on up. Make sure you go follow Worst Damn Gamer. His links are in the description. Go follow him everywhere. Go follow all of his awesome fucking content. Go follow him gaming and all that cool shit. Make sure to go follow Stories from a Bar as well. All of his links are in the description as well. He has a dope podcast. You
I
guys know
do.
Stories
It's
from a
true.
Bar. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret behind the scenes. I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna happen next. All I'm gonna say is there's gonna be a live Stories from a Bar thing coming in the next couple of somethings. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's news to me.
It's gonna happen. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my body. Just wait. Just wait for it.
Feel it in my penis.
No, I don't feel it there yet.
Right in the peen.
Peen. But with that said,
Gonna hang down all over the internet.
don't forget to follow Horror with Sir Sturdy as well. And of
Dangle
course,
it right in your face.
go check out that Popcorn and Pines, people, and check out the whole entire Z Network.
It's more like getting poked in the face, actually. It's not really dangling.
And dangle your way, jangle, jangle, dangle, dangle. We're getting out of here.
Jingle balls.
Peace. Thanks for popping
On
by.
over to Patreon, y'all.
Yes, yes.